Well, it is Monday. I don't know what day it is in March, but it's some day in March. This is Bertie Lavorne, and this is the Faith Leap podcast. So I have thrown away 2 or 3 recordings over the last couple of weeks. I've gotten up in the middle of the night and recorded, and it was just babble. And I thought, well, that's so unimportant to what I'm trying to convey. There are no words for what I'm trying to convey, so it's proving itself mighty difficult. But the overall gist of it is it's a real spiritual type of feeling, reality. It's a quantum leap. Just it's like this inner knowing that I'm trying to put words to, and there are no words for it. So I'm still formulating all that. So with that being said, I want to try to just really keep these podcasts going, but I've hit a real concrete barrier with talking about spirituality, and I know that talking politics or government corruption is kind of such a negative thing to put out there. Hopefully everyone's just finding out things for themselves and creating their own reality with it. So I'm sure I'll dabble in politics because it's such a huge piece of my life. But with trying something different on doing podcasts, I have reacquainted myself with my music lust, my lust of finding really great music. A little disheartening when you turn on the radio and you hear what people or children and young teens are listening to, and you're just like, oh gosh, I hope one day they really do find real music. Because that's just, it seems like a lot of auto tune and minimal creativity. That's just what it seems to me. I'm just not a fan, and the radio is littered with those types of stations, those pop stations, and I'm finding it rather difficult to. I found it rather difficult over the last 2 years to re-engage with a lifelong love of music. But my friend is coming up, and in some circumstances that are quite mind-numbing, I'm going to possibly be able to go to see Massive Attack with her in Philly in the next couple of weeks. And I haven't been to a concert. I went to Roger Waters a couple of years ago when I first got here, and that was pretty magnificent, but it was laced in political jargon, and that was really pretty raw for me at the moment. So while I thoroughly enjoyed listening to Roger Waters, I walked away just going, God, why did you have to throw all that political stuff into it? So today I'm going to make a podcast about this little gem that I stumbled across, and her name is Aurora. I don't know where she's from. She sounds maybe Scandinavian, Icelandic, something, which, I'm drawn to that. My favorite artist in the world is Björk. And I went to see her in 2007, and I walked out of a very quaint 2,000-seater theater, and I looked at my boyfriend and I said, I almost couldn't talk, but I felt like we had just had a conversation with God. And I was just so moved by Björk's concert that year that it pretty much started forming the next 12 years of my life, music-wise. And the creativity and her zaniness and her whimsical, and I don't know, it's just beautiful to me. On that note, one of my magic moments in my lifetime came a couple of maybe 18 months ago when I went to a professional soundstage setup, like a concert setup, and I was the only person in the room except for a couple of other people, and they were testing out speakers, and they played a Bjork song, and they told me to go stand in the middle of all of the speakers, and so I did, and it was so powerful that it was moving my clothes, and it was slightly moving, like it was changing my heartbeat. And I had never experienced sound being such a wall of power before in my life. And it came at a time that I needed it so desperately, because I had just made the move and everything was so upside down and downside up, and it just came at the most perfect time because it kept that fire going while I needed to just hunker down and kind of dig more into the truth of life. But I hope I don't get a copyright strike for playing this. I doubt I will, because nobody really listens to my podcast, but I'm going to play it anyway because it shook me when I listened to this a couple hours ago. So, and it is a salute and a celebration of my upcoming Massive Attack concert. Here we go. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope this works. Okay. Now, hopefully that moved you as much as it moved me, because all I want to do is listen to it over and over and over again. And I did see that while it was playing, she is a Norwegian singer. I'm very drawn to that area of the world. It's crazy. But I'm going to try to like come across someone new every week and make sure that I stoke the fires of keeping music alive in me. I rejected music, like I said. You start wondering about the lyrics and things like that, and you start questioning cultures and things when you really start digging into a lot of that underground dirt is the only word. So I think David Bowie gave us a real present with Black Star. Maybe I'll dive into that for next week. But Black Star's pretty amazing if you listen to the lyrics of it. And it was put out just a couple of days before he passed away. And I'm going to leave you with something really strange that I have... It's come into my reality a couple of times. So I think that I'm supposed to put this in the podcast. And I am not one for quoting scripture, and I have tried numerous times to read the Bible, but I cannot seem to get through it. I am uninterested in it in a certain way, but yet I'm very interested in it. So there again, that Libra part of me is just conflicting. But what I wanted to share before in this podcast, excuse me, is Mark 4:22, and that is that there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. There is nothing kept secret that will not come to light. So with that, I'm going to rest easy and dig into my love of music and kind of let the world unfold as it may, and continue to be someone who anchors the love and the light to this earth. Enjoy your week. Hopefully I'll be back next week with some new wonderful music for you to listen to and to explore.